27. She started to lead lightning to the path. I gripped the saddle horn tightly with both hands. The horse kept her head down as we slowly moved. Uh, do you have another horse? I asked. You'll like lightning, Greta said. She's very responsive. We'll just walk. You don't have to trot. When you feel more comfortable, you can let go of the horn and take the reins. Yeah, when I'm more comfortable, I said. The horse seemed to bounce as she walked. She kind of swayed from side to side, and I kept feeling myself slide off. The path led up the hill of the pasture, which was still pretty much covered in snow. A woods of snow-covered trees stood at the top. Holding on to the reins, Greta walked beside me, keeping very pace with the horse. Are you starting to feel more comfortable? She asked. Not yet, I said. My hands were aching from gripping the saddle horn so tightly. We can turn around any time if you're not enjoying it, she said. I opened my mouth to reply, but stopped when I saw the figure float up in front of us. Slappy. Slappy's ghost was a few feet away, hovering high off the ground, above the horse's head. No! My shout startled Greta. She dropped the reins. What is it? She cried. Don't you see him? I shouted. She shook her head. See what? Slappy tilted back his head and laughed his rattling cackle. Lightning lurched. She raised her head. The horse saw Slappy. Still cackling, Slappy floated closer. The horse let out a loud, whinnying protest and rose up onto her back legs. I started to slide off. I uttered a cry and grasped the saddle horn. I saw the confused look in Greta's face. She made a frantic grab for the reins. Missed. The horse whinnied again. She bucked her head up and down, then took off, galloping into the trees, off the path, into the woods. Oh, help me. This isn't happening. I bounced on her, brought back. My legs flew out from the horse's sides. I gripped the saddle horn with one hand, reached under my shirt for a lucky silver birdshell with the other. It was gone. In my panic, I remember taking it off my bath last night. Slappy's ghost stayed ahead of us. He floated just above our heads, his hands flopping out at his sides, his mouth open in a never-ending laugh. Low tree limbs brushed the top of my head as lightning galloped farther into the woods, running crazily, zigzagging, whinnying in terror the whole way. I ducked my head as low as I could, and held on. I could hear Greta's cries for help far behind me. Pounding hooves. I felt every thud the hooves made against the hard ground. I bounced hard in the saddle, staring at the flying ghost Slappy ahead of us, and then the horse wheeled around, raised her front legs high, and spun back toward the pasture. I screamed again as we went galloping full speed toward the stable. I leaned forward, wrapped my arms around the horse's neck, practically strangling her as we galloped. Shut my eyes and listened to the heavy thud of the hoofbeats. I opened my eyes when I heard screams. The other horses scattered wildly as lightning charged at them. Some kids fell to the ground in fear. Others ran to get out of the way as lightning flew to the stable. The air was filled with their shrieks. Stop! Lightning! Stop! I cried out. Holding on to her neck, I struggled to slow her down, but I couldn't manage it. Slappy had terrified her beyond control. The big horse ran headlong into the food table. I saw Carlos's mother hit the ground to get out of the way. Food flew in all directions. The tall chocolate cake rose up in the air, flipped over, and came down on top of a boy. Trevor. The cake landed on Trevor's head, covered him, appeared to swallow him, and then lightning kicked over the charcoal grill. Hot coals flew into the air. Kids screamed as they struggled to get out of the way. Lightning reared up and knocked off DJ equipment. The speaker toppled to the ground. You ruined my party! You ruined my party! I heard Carlos shriek. No time to think about it. The horse slammed into one of the stalls at the back of the stable, kicked high, and I went sailing to the ground. I landed hard on my back. My breath whooshed out. Pain rolled over me. My first horseback ride was over, and suddenly I knew what I had to do.